Welcome everyone. Today we are unraveling the depth of Shakespeare's Sonnet 60. Join me as we explore the poet's reflection on the relentless passage of time and its impact on life. Let's start with the introduction. It is one of the 154 sonnets of Shakespeare, and sonnet number 60 highlights the nature of the time and the power of poetry that can immortalize even the beauty. So let's begin. Let us begin with the first quatrain. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before, in sequent toil all forwards do contend. Let's begin with the line number one. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore. In the opening, Shakespeare draws a vivid parallel between the relentless motion of waves toward the shore and the unstoppable progression of the time. The waves symbolize the ceaseless march of the moments. Line number two. So do our minutes hasten to their end. The poet directly connects the rushing waves to the swift passage of our minutes. Time, like the waves, moves swiftly, racing towards its inevitable conclusion, symbolizing the transience of the life. Line number three. Each changing place with that which goes before. The idea that each moment takes the place of the one preceding it. There is a constant exchange, emphasizing the cyclical nature of time and the perpetual succession of the events. Line number 4. In sequent toil, all forwards do contend. Here, Shakespeare introduces the notion of continuous labor or toil in the progression of time. It's a struggle, a relentless effort as each moment contends to move forward, creating a sense of perpetual motion. To sum up the first quatrain, time is likened to waves approaching the pebbled shore, symbolizing the swift passage of moments towards their inevitable end. We now move to the second quatrain. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity wherewith being crowned, crooked eclipses against his glory fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Let's begin with the line number 5. Nativity, once in the main of light. Referring to birth, the beginning of life, as a journey from the main of light, suggesting a very radiant origin. The imagery sets the stage for the contrast between birth and the eventual challenges of the life. Crawls to maturity wherewith being crowned, describing the journey from infancy to maturity, likening it to a crawl. The attainment of maturity is crowned with the experiences and challenges faced along the way. Line number 7. Crooked eclipses against his glorified. Introducing the idea of obstacle and challenges through the word here, crooked eclipses. That opposes the individual's glory. Glory here is his accomplishments throughout his life. So basically, Shakespeare suggests that life's challenges can cast shadows on one's accomplishments. And time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time which initially granted life now confounds or disrupts its course. The gift of life becomes perplexed and challenged by the passage of time, suggesting the inevitable decay. In all, the poem reflects here, the second quatrain, the chronological progression of time, with each moment replacing the one before in incessant, that means the continuous and forward moving sequence. Let's discuss the third quatrain now. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and dulls the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. Line number 9. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, highlighting how time pierces and penetrates the youthful vigor and energy that is shown by the word flourish here. The vitality of youth is affected and marked by the passage of time and delves the parallels in beauty's brow. Continuing the theme of time's impact, Shakespeare uses the word here, delves, to express how the time digs into, or we can say engraves lines on forehead, representing the physical signs of aging and the toll on the beauty. Line number 11 feeds on the rarities of the nature's truth. Time consumes the precious and the unique aspects, that is the rarities of the nature's truth. This could refer to the distinctive qualities and experiences that make life very precious. 12. and nothing stands but for his side to move, emphasizing the universal impact of the time. By the word here, side. Side we understand as a machine which is used to cut down the grasses. So nothing stands but for his side to move, emphasizing the universal impact of the time as an inevitable force that cuts down everything. Nothing remains untouched by the relentless progression of the time. To sum up, the impact of time on human life is explored here in the third quadrant, from birth to maturity, depicting a struggle against fading glory and the onset of darkness. Let's move to the couplet. And yet to times in hope my verse shall stand, praising thy word despite his cruel hand. In line number 13, despite the harsh reality of time, the poet expresses hope that his verses will endure through time. The power of poetry is seen as a timeless medium that can withstand the ravages of the temporal decay. And in the last line, the 14th line, praising thy word despite his cruel hand. In the final declaration, the poet vows to praise the worthiness of the subject despite the cruel effects of time. It's a testament to the enduring power of love, beauty, and art in the face of temporal challenges. To sum up the last couplet, despite time's destructive nature, the poet expresses hope. He is very hopeful here, and that his verses will withstand the test of time, praising the worthiness of the subject despite the cruel hands of the time. Now we arrive at the conclusion and the summary of the sonnet. As we have seen, Sonnet 60 has shown us very vividly the nature's cyclical patterns, how it affects human beings and the beauty, and mortality is also inevitable. It cannot be escaped from. The transient beauty of life, that is the beauty of life or any person or anything for that matter, is very temporary and it can have permanent character only through the words of the Shakespeare. That is a timeless record. Let's look at the poetic devices and its analysis used in the sonnet. Number one, metaphor. And time that gave doubt, now his gift confound. This is the line we have came across. We can see the time as giver and something which can take away as well. So it's a metaphor. Personification. The same line can be construed as a personification as well because time is shown as something which can take as well as give. Simile. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, we can see that time is also compared to the waves that always just marches on. Alliteration. We can see in the words cross and crown repetition of C alphabet. Here also wherewith we can see W and WA. Although in modern English they are two different words, but earlier then they were combined words. Now let's come to the themes of the sonnet. First, time's relentless progress we have seen it is portrayed as an unstoppable force. The nature cycle is again we have seen it's another the same aspect of time as well. The erosion of beauty, the time definitely impacts beauty, and the art as immortality. Time can impact beauty, but time cannot impact the art. That is why Shakespeare says that his verse will remain immortal, and even the beauty can remain immortal through the verses. Resilience of poetry, the same thing as we just discussed. Here we go. This was the line by line explanation of the sonnet number 16. Thank you for joining, and this was Amarnath from the Lifelong Student. See you next time. Until then, keep learning. Goodbye.